pulled up. It's going to be a fun day. Just want to make sure we are good. We are live and we're all in the clear. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. You can hear me. Okay, team says they can hear me, but I don't see it in my group yet, so I'm just trying to make sure. There we go. I need to be able to see comments. If you're catching the replay, comment replay. I have 3 different screens on my computers, ladies. So if you see me kind of like, or on my desk, 3 different computer screens, you see me like twirling around. That's what I'm doing. But hello, and welcome to day 1. We're going to go ahead and get going. We like to start right on time. But remember, comment, comment, comment. The more you comment, the better this is going to be. The more information you're going to get. Good morning, Melissa. There we go. The more information you're going to get. Hey, Emily. I like how you spell your name. That's really pretty. And all of that as well. Okay. So super excited to be here. Welcome to day 1 of the 5-day masterclass. This masterclass is something that is, and I'm not saying this because it's mine, okay? I've attended other masterclasses for different things. This masterclass is life-changing. This masterclass is something that you don't get to experience every day. And the reason I say this is because you have a coach here, not me, the other one, who has been in the game for over 40 years. And she said something last week when I was like talking to her about it. She said most of the people who got in when I did are dead or retired. I was like, well, that's sad. But you're going to learn amazing stuff this week. And I will repeat this again because I know people are coming on later. But you're going to learn from someone who has been through multiple recessions and all of that. And I toot her horn not just because she's my mother and I'm very blessed to have her as a mother, but because I want you to realize the magnitude of being here right off the bat before we even jump in, who you are learning from. So we're going to go into our stories here in just a moment. But one of the things that I want to state is that you are in the right place and that this week I want you to feel like this is possible for me. Real estate has changed Laura's life. It's changed my life. You're going to meet another one of my coaches whose life's at shift, and I want it to change yours. But in order to get to know you a little bit, I need to know a few questions. I know I asked in the group, but here where I can see it and Laura can see it coming in, where are you from into the chat? What's your strategy that you would like to start from? If you don't know, that's okay. And what are you hoping to get out of this week? Also, are you new? I'm asking them all at once because there's a delay. Now, to go over some terms before we jump in for the week and Laura is able to share, I just want to go over some brief terms that I did in the pre-masterclass live. If you did not watch the pre-masterclass live, don't worry. Finish watching here. Go back and watch because it's way more detailed. We are going to be live for up to 2 hours. We're going to talk all things on different subjects throughout the week. Today, it's the number one thing you must do for your business. We're going to help you choose an area based on where you are right now. We're going to give you some homework, okay? This is getting you to take action because so many people just sit on these classes and intake and have no idea what to do because they paralyze themselves with information. So we're going to do that. You have my team members here to help you. Pretty much if their name says REIW at the end, there's Brianna, Alex, Chloe, Julie, there's me in there, there's Laura. But if they pretty much say REIW, that's my team. They're here to help you. Please tag them if you have any questions, message them if you need help or anything like that. We're going to be live on the dot 10 a.m. This is the only time I'm really going to go over the terms. 10 a.m. on the dot Eastern time zone. We do not repeat, okay, because we have to give you a lot of information in a short amount of time. So we will tell you to rewatch the replays. The replays come down this Sunday, by the way. Well, it's Monday morning, but you have till Sunday to review. I say Sunday because people will come in Monday and be like, can you please give me another hour? So now we say Sunday. If you want the replays, you can buy it at any time this week, an upgrade package to get the replays, which I'm going to tell you now, a lot of people end up purchasing because of the amount of information we give you. They're like, okay, I need to pay for this. This was worth it, right? So you're going to see that. You do have to be live and commenting to win the raffles. So I will randomly, it's very random, call raffles, and whoever has commented, whether it's 1 times or 100 times, will be entered into the raffle for each comment they do. At the end, we spin this wheel. My team is going to tell me who wins, and you have to be live. Now, keep in mind for claiming your raffle, you have to be live, or for questions, that there is a lag about 15 to 20 seconds from the time I say it to the time that I see that you guys receive it and I get messages back like comments. So just kind of keep that lag in mind. We will do a Q&A at the end. Okay, we will do a Q&A at the end. We are going to do one question per person. If we have time for more, we will. The question has to pertain to what we talked about today. We will not be answering questions during the live so that we can get all the information out to you in case we decide there's more information that we feel called to share. There's enough time for the info to get out versus questions. All right. At the end, we'll do questions. Other than that, I'm really excited to get going. Laura, you ready?
Yes, yes. I'm reading the comments here. I want to bring up a couple of things. I see Florida. We are located in South Florida. We live in Boca Raton, for anybody that knows Florida, which
Oh, we're
is
from St. Louis. I see St. Louis in
I
there.
know I'm going to be in
Yeah.
St. Louis this weekend. I'm going to be there throughout next week. So I might actually, maybe Liz, I haven't even talked about it. I should organize a breakfast with people to come and see me in person. But yeah, I'm going to be in St. Louis Hall next week. Our coach is going to be here on Wednesday. She is actually in St. Louis. She lives there. And and we are in Florida, but we do invest all over the country. So I'm super excited to be here. We love these master classes. Liz and I were talking about this, and it's like, we just love to do this at the end of the day, you know. I know we have a smaller crowd, but that's okay because we actually pride ourselves from being very much hands-on, one-on-one. And I want to meet you guys in person. Like I said, I'm in St. Louis. I want to meet you. We're going to be in New York City next month, and we're going to meet the students there. So we are much about being in the field and meeting with all of you. So thanks for being here. And we are going to get going. I want to share some amazing information here. At the end of the day, the reason I'm doing is, like Liz says, most of the people I know have died or retired, and I'm still here doing it. And the end of the day is I want to share my information. I want to change other women's life. If I can do something out there for, the second phase of my life where I can empower other women to have done what I was able to do, in the last 40 years. And yeah, that would be a life well lived, the way I look at it. So I'm here, and I hope to connect with each single one of you. And we want to change everyone's life that let us into their life. So thank you for being here.
Yes. All right. So talking a little bit about who we are, I'm going to keep mine really short. My name is Liz. I'm Laura's daughter. I've been investing. It will be 10 years in October. To keep this extremely short, I've done all of my deals completely virtual. I average 6+ deals a month, plus, minimum being usually 6. And my main markets are St. Louis and St. Pete, Tampa area. But I've done deals in Orlando. I've done deals here in South Florida. I've done deals in Chicago. I've done deals in Pittsburgh. I've done deals in Philadelphia. And then I've helped students do deals throughout the country. Now, the one difference between what most people teach and what I do is that I have done every single one of my deals completely virtual, meaning that no matter where I was in the world, whether it was Japan, Italy, Alaska, St. Lucia, wherever I was, deals happened and deals closed. And I was able to build this business completely virtual, which was really important for me. But to save on time, I can share my story another day, or you can ask, and I don't mind sharing it all or doing another live in the group. But I do this virtual. I solely wholesale, so you'll see after the wholesaling day, I will probably back off and let Laura and Maria take over. But I solely wholesale, I do it virtual, and I love it. I genuinely love what real estate has done for me. I live a life I enjoy, and that's why I teach, because I went during COVID, I started teaching everyone how to build it overnight, their business, completely virtual, because I was already doing it. And when I saw the women, and we were coaching men at the time too, men be able to do this virtually, and I saw the impact I got to be a part of, the stories, a lot of people saying, I got my start because of you, or I got my business to this level because of you. That's when I became a coach for REIW. So This is a really, really powerful community here. We are a smaller community. We're not coaches out there teaching thousands. We're small because we handpick the people we work with because we guarantee your success. And so it's something that's really important to us is that we don't care about numbers. I tell Laura all the time, I don't care how many people sign up. I don't care how many people do this. You know, I invest, I make my money that way. What I care about is whose lives I got to change that day, or in your case, this week. So this week, I'm going to be helping you every day see how this is possible, give you the tips, answer your questions, give you the steps. I don't care about any of that. You can know all of that. And then at the end, if you want to work with us, you will have an option to. But other than that, this is about you. Don't feel like this is going to be some sales pitch. Don't feel like this is going to be something else. I want you here. I want you learning. I want you having the best week possible. Because in the next week, I'm going to teach you what I've learned in 10 years and what Laura's going to teach you what she's learned in 40. Laura, your turn.
Yeah, the records is, I mean, we're not that small of a community. We're still over 100. But the thing,
Smaller compared to others, I should say.
I know.
Yeah.
But one of the things we take our pride is that we know each one personally. And, we have some amazing women. You'll get to see some of their case studies here this week that are really, like family to us. And that's what is important because we want to be here. I'm looking to build a community and a tribe, not just a coaching business. And a lot of you know Liz from Mindset Calls that she does on Tuesday, which I'm sure she will invite to you tomorrow. And that's the thing. We're looking to build a community. And that's what helped me when I started in real estate. There is a book here, you probably see it in the back, and that's a book that I compiled together with Liz. And there is interviews of women that have changed and shaped my life. I was very fortunate going into my story that I came from Italy. So if you wonder about my accent, but I was in Hawaii in 87 and I was finishing up college. And I looked at a business that could make some, that could be flexible and give me the money. I didn't want to get a loan, student loan. And I found real estate. And the thing is, I over the years, then I got caught the bug of real estate. I still finished my degree. I went all the way to an MBA. But the thing is, because of the community of women that I started with in Hawaii, there was this real estate company. I went in as an agent, and there were also investors. And one of the ladies there, she's still alive. She's in her 90s, living on Oahu. And she was a president of the board of realtors for Honolulu for many years. And she's still in real estate. And I was there at her house a couple of years ago with Liz. We sat there in our backyard and I asked her, I said, Donna, so I said, if you had to tell me what made you successful, if you had to sum it up to one thing of your amazing background, what is it? What made you different? And she said to me, I fix things. I solve problems. I'm out there always solving problems. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the success. It wasn't about her. It's about being of service and helping people. And to me, that was like, and then she said to me, and it's in the book, by the way. And then she said to me, we knew when she met me back in the 80s that you were going to be different, And so that's the thing. It kind of brought me back, and that's why I'm here today. So I started in Hawaii. I came back to the mainland, and I see a lot of you here are interested in rentals. And that's where I actually started back in 91. I started in rentals. I see some of you from the comments that are interested in investing using private money or other people's money. That's how I did it. I didn't have, I had some money from my Hawaii investments, but I also didn't want to use my money. My husband, Liz's dad at the time, didn't want to use my money for real estate. He thought that was risky. So, but the way there is a will, there is a way, right? And I wanted to build passive income. So the first year I actually built $5,000 in passive income from real estate without using any bank financing. Within 18 months, I had double that. And during the course of doing that, though, I stumbled into what you guys call wholesaling. So I was actually a pioneer when it comes to wholesaling before it was even a thing. It was called flipping contracts, and it was done very randomly. But I was closing on a property I was buying as a rental. When I sat at the closing table, I realized that the name on the contract was not the same name on title. And the guy selling it to me was a real estate broker who had flipped it to me. So I said, okay, so there is something to it. So I went and worked for him to learn the strategy. But I wasn't sure that was legal. So I called the real estate commission and I asked them, I said, okay, you know, is this, how can you write? So I was taught by the real estate commissioner to write wholesale contracts, okay? And I do it. And I saw such opportunity there. And I can call it nowadays, wholesaling is my ATM machine, right? So 95, I transitioned from corporate to real estate full time. And it took me 8 years from the time I started in 87 to 95 because I didn't have any coaches. Yes, I had agents that I work with in Hawaii, but at the end of the day, wholesaling, where I saw the opportunity, I had moved back to the mainland at that point. Nobody was teaching me. Nobody was teaching me about creative financing. So I had to learn on my own. I had to do the school of hard knocks, right? And so it took me 8 years to finally crack the code. The thing for you, you don't have to do it for 8 years. That's what we're here for. We can expedite 8 years in just a few days or a few weeks if you join our community to really build up the business. So in 95, I was switching to real estate full time, and then I took off running. I was wholesaling, doing rental still, and then I went into fix and flip and raising private money. So 2001, that's when I took up in syndication private money, and I started building, like working with the city of St. Louis. So, and I started getting into what nowadays they call opportunity zones. They were not there yet, but really redeveloping the city and building up and buying properties from the LRA, which is a land reutilization agency in St. Louis, and building up whole city blocks. So my experience spans, a long time, but it's not always good. Real estate, you have to go up and down sideways. Over the years, a lot of things happen. We had recessions, we had changes in economy and in presidency. And then 2007 happened and we had a big housing crisis. But one of the things about real estate is that you have to reinvent yourself. Okay. So that's the great thing about real estate. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be there to support you, but you have to reinvent yourself. So in 2007, 2001, I went into pre-foreclosure prevention and short sales. And that's how I stumbled into Maria, which you're going to meet on Wednesday. She was a short sale negotiator and she did my short sales for a while. And I had her and two other ones, by the way, because I was doing over 30 short sales at the time. But I reinvented myself. And people start asking me, how do you do this? How do you wholesale? How do you do short sales? How do you raise money, to buy all your rentals and fix and flips? And so I started teaching people. And I formally started in 2011, teaching men and women. And my circle expanded. And then a few years ago, Liz and I decided only to focus on women because women have a different ways how they approach things. There is a certain set of fears, limiting beliefs, not being enough, about, not really believing in yourself. And that's why I say we want to focus on women because it's different. It's different kind of mentality and vibe. And I want to make sure you guys feel supported and safe that somebody's there to actually understand you and help you. So in a nutshell, that's my story. I don't want to drag it down too long. But yeah, so I'm super glad to be here.
Okay, great. So yeah, so we're going to teach you pretty much this week how to start investing or how to scale. I see some have already some skills, which is great. So you're going to learn kind of doesn't matter where you are, your age, your race, your background. It doesn't matter. We're going to show you how it's possible for you, just like it was possible for us. So Laura, for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about, for those who do not know or not sure of their strategy, we're going to start talking a little bit about that.
Sure. So I came up with this diagram a couple years ago because there are three main strategies when it comes to real estate investing. There is wholesale, there is buy and hold, and there is fix and flip. Okay. So people were asking me, what should I start with? I think I was told I should start with wholesaling. I was told that, I really want to build rentals. I don't want to do wholesaling and so forth. So I put this diagram together, and Elizabeth, is it going to be in the group as well, right? For them
Yeah,
to.
it's in their PDF from this morning.
Okay, great. So, make sure you check it out and sit down with it for a minute. But at the end of the day, I want you to kind of look at it and see where you are right now. Everybody here is different. So, take a moment to be truly honest with yourself. But there are two things you need to take in consideration. Number one is what are your financial resources? Number two is what is your level of experience? Okay. So, based on these two things, this will give you kind of an idea on where to go. Okay, if you don't have any of them, money or experience, then you have to go one route. If you have money and experience, or experience, no experience and money, that would be a second route. So look at this, it will help you. So now I would like to get interaction here. How many of you have decided what strategy you're going to do to start with? Now remember, I transitioned through different strategies over my career, right? But what do you want to do to start with?
Laura,
Anybody?
because of the delay, I say we just keep
Yeah.
moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead and put it in the chat so we can kind of get a feeling here if you want to do wholesaling, buy and hold and fix and flip. But that's the first thing you need to do. The second thing is, okay, now you want to do a strategy. Now the second thing is where are you going to do that strategy, right? So if you want to do rentals, you need to choose an area where there is supply and demand on rentals, where the rental market makes sense. If you want to do wholesaling, you have to do an area where who are going to be your end buyers. We're going to talk more about during the week. Who are going to be your end buyers for wholesaling, right? So because you have to service that market. And the fix and flip is their demand of homes and what type of homes, right? So you have to find the sweet spot where the demand is. But that's the first thing you're going to talk about. So Liz, are we going to share something about the area?
Yeah. So if you have decided what are you going to do, even if you don't want to use your money, sometimes you need to lend against your capital. So you would still technically have money. I saw that comment come through. So you still technically have money to start, which means that you have more avenues that you can go through.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's move into the next section, Laura.
Yeah. Now, okay, so let's say you have an error. And if you don't, that's okay. Sit down with it. One of the things I want to tell you, which is not scientific at all, okay? Once you feel like, sit for a minute. What you feel excited about in the morning? Because I'm very much of a believer that there is a will, there is a way, okay? If you want to do something, you feel very animate. Hey, I had a student, Kay, we're going to talk more about it. She came into the training and she says, I've heard that people say I should do wholesaling. And she stuck with it for 2, 3 months, but she really just wasn't in it. It wasn't her thing to do. And so one day I sat down with her and says, Kate, what do you want to do? She says, I really want to fix and flip. Okay, so there is a will, there is a way. Within 8 days, she put the property under contract. She did a fix on that one. But 3 or 4 months later, she made $64,000 profit. Okay. Then she put another under contract. She made over $50,000 profit. And then she quit her job. So where there is a will, there is a way. And that's the thing. What makes you get up in the morning and feel excited about? Okay, that will be your strategy at the end of the day. Okay, now let's move on to the area. So now you chose the strategy. So how do you do the area? So like I said, you have to look at what your market is. So let's say if you're wholesaling, who is going to be your end buyer? Are you going to service the end buyers? What type of properties are they looking for, right? If you're going to be a landlord, what type of landlord are you going to be? Are you going to be a Section 8 landlord? Are you going to be more short-term, mid-term? Are you going to be more, one of the things that is happening in the industry is co-living communities. We're going to talk about here in a minute about what's going on in the industry too. But the thing is, what type of landlord are you? And if you're a rehabber, what is the sweet spot that's selling your market? Not necessarily could be the cheaper homes. It could be, higher end homes. It could be the middle range, right? What is the sweet spot? So you have to figure that out first. So there are some resources out there we're going to share with you in a minute here, do some screen share so you guys see, but you'll have to find that first. Okay, what is it? Because how many of you here have started investing, wholesaling, or do it, and you feel like you're hitting a brick wall? How many of you here feel like you're just spinning your wheels, but nothing is happening? All right. And we're here to fix that. You're going to have a lot of aha moments this week. Liz gave me for Christmas This one here, which is my golden nugget, which I wish was real gold, but yeah. Next time, right, Liz?
Yeah.
So this is a golden nugget, and but basically it's because she said you always drop golden nuggets with people, right? So I was like, yes. She also gave me a crystal ball a couple of years ago. I'll show it to you tomorrow. But anyway, so that's the thing it is, it's just like, okay, now let's figure out, okay, I've decided I want to do this, but I've been frustrated. Okay, so I want to read some of the comments here. Let me turn fix and flip for me. See wholesale, yeah. So, and like I said, some of you might have tried this, and it does, and it's come down to maybe making some simple changes, but you need to know what they are, right? So the first thing I want you to really, if you've done this already, or if you haven't done it at all, what is the area? So Lisa, can you do some screen share about that?
Yep. For those that are saying there's kind of like a glitch, I don't know if it's our internet. This is technology. We're doing this live. I do have this recording on Zoom, so if it really is that bad, the Zoom is recording, so hopefully the Zoom recording will be better and we can replace this, but I can't guarantee that. So just try your best to follow along. I promise we're doing our best, but it's kind of out of our control when you're dealing with technology. Okay, let's move into choosing the area. So real quick, while I pull this up into the chat, I want to know which area that you want to focus on. It needs to be a major, like metropolitan area. Give me a city and a state that you want to focus on so that I can do this. I'll take the first one that comes through. I've been stuck for 3 years. Mindset has to be what I find, and I'm going to give you, ladies, while I wait for this to come through, I'm going to give you a guest pass to our mindset call tomorrow with our students. And we're opening it to the public tomorrow anyway, but you're going to get a guest pass where you can come in and be able to hang out with us and talk mindset. I had to go back through and I had to I went back through an entire year at the end of 2023, and you want to know the difference between and what they had to struggle with, whether they made it or they didn't make it in investing, was their mindset. Either the ones who made it said they had to get their mindset straight first, and the ones who struggled, it was all fears and mindset and what do I do? And so mindset can hold you back. And so you'll be hanging out a lot with me this week, and we're also going to be working on what's going on in between the 2 years of it right there, right? What's going on in your brain that's keeping you held back because it's time to break through, right? I'm sure even you are like, let's do this. Okay, so let's do the first one I see is Houston, Texas. So I'm going to kind of slowly, as much slow as I can, but remember there's a replay. Explain how you're going to come across running this information. Now, some people go off of like gut feelings and things like that, but I like data, so does Laura. I need to know facts. What is actually happening? I don't even watch the news. I need to know exactly what's going on based on numbers, not what the media tells you or anything like that. So we are on the National Association of Realtors website, nar.realtor, not .com. So nar.realtor. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to pull this information. So you're going to come over here and you do not need a subscription. I know people are going to ask because they ask every time. You do not need a subscription to access this data. So you're going to go to research and statistics and you're going to come down and might look different depending on your computer or what you're using, your browser. And you're going to go to where it says state and metro data. Okay. So you're going to click that. All right, so then you're going to see something like this pop up. You're going to scroll down and you're going to go over here to Metropolitan Statistical Area MSA level data, and you're going to click that. Okay? Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to go over here to local market reports. Again, just watch for now. Like I said in the pre-masterclass live, if you haven't watched that, you need to go watch that after this. Watch for now. You can come back and watch the replay. It's available all week. You're going to click this, local market reports. Then you're going to go down and we're going to Houston, Texas. So we're going to go all the way down to where it says Texas, and you're going to go to the Houston area. Okay, so yours will be whatever metropolitan you're looking for. You're going to click that. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to pull up and it's going to download a um a PDF right here. All right. And Laura, I'm going to let you kind of take over what you like to look and read here.
Yeah, and I know some people say slow down, but that's okay, guys. It's
That's
recorded.
why there's a
So,
replay. Yep.
yeah, go back and watch it. Take your time until you wrap your mind around it. And all this week, I'm going to share so much of you guys, okay? I'm going to bombard you with golden nuggets. And the thing is, at the end of the day, that's why you replay. You go back and slow down and write down because you need to really understand this concept, okay? So what I'm looking when I look at this report, when I like to look at the front page. Now, keep in mind this runs a little bit behind. Like right now is reporting for the third quarter 2024. So they run about a couple quarters behind, okay? But what I'm looking is, first of all, I want to look at the national average. In this case, it's 3.3%. You see that there, Liz is highlighting it. And then it shows what it's been for Houston, which is 0.8%. Okay. So what that means is that the national average is about 3%. So Houston is a little slower, but it's a good thing. Now, we're going to look at other things to kind of cross-reference this data we're going to share with you in a moment. But you want something that is not above the national average if you can, because what it means is if it's about national, there is a lot of competition. The seller expect to get more for their property than what it's worth. I mean, we've seen that, right? Last couple of years when everybody was getting more than their asking price. So to have a little bit below or under is a good thing because that means the sellers are willing to negotiate. The sellers are willing to be reasonable about it, in average, okay? So that's the thing. So yes, it's a good thing that is below the national average. Now, if it was negative, there are some areas actually below, like minus, those I would be very, very careful, okay? There might be something else going on there that you need to look more closely. So that's the first thing I look. Then scroll down, Liz. Okay, so if you're doing any type of wholesaling or fix and flip, that's what you look at, the national average and that. Then if you're doing a fix and flip, I want you to look at that. So the FHA loan limit is basically is a government loan, right? You put down only 3% and they say, okay, we're going to help you, they're gonna basically insure that loan. So most people, even if the economy, which is not gonna happen, if the economy went belly up, like we had in 2007, 2008, um, people are still gonna buy in this range, okay, because it's more quote unquote affordable, and usually, honestly, it's cheaper to buy than rent. And so the 490, so 500,000 is basically the FHA loan limit. What does it tell me? So if I'm doing a fix and flip in Houston, I would like to look at property that probably about, low 500s tops after repair value. So if I buy a property and fix it up, I know for sure I can sell. Now you can get higher, like the conforming loan limit is 766, but so I would say then you need to find quote unquote the sweet spot between the 400 or 500,000 and 766 as a flipper. Okay. So like, for example, so the different areas are going to command different things. So like Houston is a huge area, right? Brigham metropolitan area. So some parts of town are going to be probably more FHA type buyer. In some parts of town, they're going to go more conforming buyer. But this is the range that you have to look at. Then you need to do some research to say, okay, where is the sweet spot for the area that I want to do within Houston because it's such a big area. Now, the other pages is more if you do buy and hold. Elisa, if you want to scroll down very quick on the second and third page, that's more, scroll down. Okay, so that's more about, there is a lot of pages here and you can keep scrolling. So that's see drivers of local supply and demand. So you want to look at these, especially if you're doing rentals, buy and hold, okay? So kind of see what's going on. They give you new housing constructions. Again, this is real data. This is not what somebody said or an agent told me this. Or I went to the RIA meeting and they said that, or, I don't care about that. I want to see the data. So Liz,
Well,
now let's jump into
hold
the.
on, real quick. I want to come into this because we had a student that dealt with this recently. You saying the agent thing kind of reminded me of it. We had a student, her name was Jasmine, where this agent she was talking to was really trying to discourage her and tell her no, because they're in Las Vegas. She's like, no, this nothing's working here, nothing's selling. You're in the wrong area. You don't need to be doing this here and all of that. And I was like, she came on very discouraged because she's like, Liz, I really want to do this, but I want to do it in my area and all of that. I said, okay. I said, what do the numbers say? She's like, what do you mean? I said, go back to choosing the area. What do your numbers say? Because people will say whatever their experience is, or they feel you're going to be in competition to them. She said, well, so she came back and she said the numbers said this.
Okay, Elizabeth, you froze for me. Can everybody hear me? Hello? Can anybody hear me okay? So, well, while we wait then for Liz to come back, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Did I lose record?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was me, you, or whatever.
I think we're having some tech issues today overall, but that's okay. I said enough, I think. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to share screen, and I'm going to probably have to reset my internet after this. And we're going to go into the backup way is what I call this. So this is the backup way to how we figure out numbers if like it's not just nar.realtor. Okay. So can you see my screen, Laura?
Yes.
All right, I just want to make sure because things are being weird. Okay. So what we're going to do is you're going to go to Zillow.com and we're going to type in, because we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to type in Houston, Texas. Okay, just like we were doing to back up with the NAR Realtor. I'm going to skip all this and just go straight there. Okay, Laura, I'll
Yeah.
let you.
So especially now for some of you, they say, well, I'm in a smaller area. It's not going to show up in the NAR website. It used to be that the NAR was showing data for smaller areas as well, but they don't anymore. So the other thing you need to do, and you can do this even if you do the NAR, or some of you that are in smaller area want to do this, go into the area where you want to invest. So like, let's say Houston is such a huge area, right? So Elizabeth, can we zoom in a little bit?
Yeah. Where? Houston's big.
You
Where do you?
just zoom into the middle of Houston. Okay. So one of the things I want to look at first is now Elizabeth went into the sold. And now the thing I want to do first, where is most of the concentration of the yellow dots, right? So that's the thing that tells me where people are actually buying. So zoom in a little more. Now, Texas is a non-disclosure state. So actually, there is a training. If you guys use tools like PropStream, and by the way, if the team can put a link to PropStream, we actually have a special discount for you if you go through our link. But so it's a non-disclosure state. So but what you can look at is you can see the dots, and then if you use something like PropStream, go on YouTube, and there is a video training on how to look at comps and stuff like that on non-disclosure states like Texas. Okay, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the concentration of properties that sold. Now pull one up, Liz, just randomly.
Well, do you want to go where they actually show numbers?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, PropStream teaches you how to get around some of these things. You have to do a couple of extra steps, but for the sake of time, we cannot do that. Go to St. Louis. I was gonna tell you that. Okay.
No, I think St. Louis now is non-disclosure too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's true.
They switched over. So
Yeah.
what do you remember another one? Let's do
Well, go in
Florida.
Florida, right?
Yeah, let's do Orlando. It'll keep it easy. Yeah, because they switched over to non-disclosure too. Okay. So again, we're gonna zoom in. and I'm going to show you the filters that we're using. Okay. So you want first one to come up here and you want to put sold, okay? Not for sale or anything like that. You need to remember numbers don't lie. What's actually it's sold for, you press apply. I don't really care. You can do this if you want to, but really what I'm going for are single families and multifamily as a residential investor. That's really important. Okay. Residential is up to 5 units. So 5 units and more is commercial. So residential is anywhere from 1 unit, which is a single family, to a 4 family, which is 4 units in one building. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to go all the way down and you're going to put sold in the last, could do 90 days to 6 months for time's sake and to get more highly targeted. We're going to do 90 days. We're going to press apply. Not much shifted. A very busy area. Of course, Orlando is. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start looking for homes that tend to be not so fixed up, that tend to look older. You know, I could even see this there. It's a little older. It has damage in the
Yeah, that's perfect.
garage. Yes. And you're going to scroll all the way down to the price history. Okay. All right, Laura.
Okay. So look at, it was listed in December, Christmas Eve of 2024, for 347, right? And it closed a little over a month later, but it closed below asking price, right? At 339. So that's a good thing. That shows that there is movement. That shows that the sellers are willing to negotiate. Okay, so now we're looking at another one. Yeah. So it's listed for sale. Sorry, the numbers are really small there.
360.
No, but it was listed on January 7th.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to
And
zoom
it
in. It's
sold on January 31st for 355. Again,
better.
good sign, they're willing to talk and negotiate. So that to me, and you want to do on at least a dozen of these to kind of get a feeling. But when you go to a big metropolitan area like Orlando, you have to choose an area. Another thing we're going to talk more during the week when we go into leads per se. You want to, and you want to talk more about what type of properties you're looking for. But like this one here, again, 460, they went to 432. So that's a good thing. You want to see that trend. You want to see the trend where property tend to go for below asking price. So that actually, and then you want to choose an area. So let's say for Orlando, personally, I would probably choose Kissimmee, Orlando, because I look for older neighborhoods, older homes, right? Homes that have been there for a minute. And also looking for homes that are not totally fixed up, like these ones they're pulling up. These are a little more than what I would look for. But see, the prices are below. Can we pull up another of the ones that you think need work from the outside, like that white one next to it? No, go up. That one. Yeah. Okay,
Actually,
so
that
this
looks like
is,
they tried to renovate it.
yeah, but it looks not the best. Okay, so see, that's went for the market for 314 and sold for 296. So that's the thing I want to see. So that tells me, so if, for example, you cannot use a big metropolitan area because you live, in a smaller area, that's what you want to do. Things that, first of all, I look at days on the market. How many days is time on the market? Is it 60 days or less? For me, it's a good sign. I want to look at the price fluctuations, if it sells below market. And those things are good signs. So now I know that I have got a good area. Now I can go ahead and do the next thing, which we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah. So Laura, a common question that we get that you could answer is what if it's saying at the same percentage or selling at or above?
What do you mean?
So what if it's selling at or above?
If it's selling at or above, I would definitely look on Zillow too. I mean, if you look at the national average, okay, so first I go to the NAR website, look what the national average says. Very rarely I see where it's below the national average, but then when you go on Zillow, it's above the asking price. Now, if it was a for sale by owner, by the way, you're not going to see the history. You're going to see only what is sold for. So if you see in the price history something that says sold for this amount, means it was a for sale by owner because it was not on the MLS. Okay. But usually I don't get to that part because if I go on the NAR and they sell at the appreciation has been at or above the national average. I never get to the point of going on Zillow and seeing the opposite direction. So if you go on Zillow, you're probably going to see that they're selling at or above asking price if
Yeah.
the NAR shows appreciation.
Okay. Now we're going to give you some homework. The first one is please go watch the pre-masterclass live, pinned to the top of the group if you haven't already. There are a lot of questions and things being asked that was covered in there, so I just want to make sure to save from you getting frustrated that you watch that pre-masterclass video that I did last week. We streamed today to the public. So public, if you're interested in learning more about wholesaling, rentals, flips, or anything, we are not opening up any more days to the public. My team will put into the chat how you can upgrade for $7 and join us for the rest of the week. I'm also only answering questions for the ladies who are in the group today. Other than that, your next set of homework, if you've already watched a pre-master class or you need to go back and rewatch so you understand the terms, is you're going to now choose your strategy based on the PDF that we gave out this morning. And there are PDFs going out every single day of the week at around 7 a.m. So you want to grab that and bring that to the live. And then the next part is you're also going to choose your area. So today you're going to choose your area. Going back and watching our recording, you're going to follow our steps and you're going to choose the area that you plan to invest in. That will be your homework for today. Okay? All right. So now what I want to move into a little bit is that we are going to, let me see, I have my notes here. I want to talk a little bit about before we call raffle and go into Q&A, I want to talk a little bit about one thing. It's that you have to make this business fun for you. Real estate is fun for me and Laura. And the reason that I think we do, no, that I know that we do so well in this is because we live and breathe real estate. Are you the type who like looks at homes as you're driving? You watch HGTV, maybe in the hotel room. That's the only time I tend to watch it. It's like immediately as soon as I get into a hotel, I turn that on. If the windows are open, you're glancing in. I'm one of those. I'm not afraid to say because I know we all do it. If a window is open at nighttime, we are looking how they decorate. I'm not looking to be a peeping Tom. I want to see how you did your house for ideas, right? So it's stuff like that. Like obviously I'm not walking up to their window, okay? I'm just driving by. And so things like that make it really, really fun for me. I love real estate. I loved it since I was a kid. Now I didn't plan to be in real estate, but it's definitely something that you end up doing because you love it. It's something that makes it enjoyable. Then the money comes because you're enjoying what you do and you're in that state of, I love what I'm doing. So I want you to make real estate really, really fun for you. The other thing I see a lot of people struggle with, especially women, is time management. We will put our dreams on the back burner so that our kids, our husbands, our spouses, whoever you're with, whoever's in your life, can go live their dreams while we keep putting ourselves on the back burner and breaking our promises. This is not a hobby, okay? This is a business. You're dealing with money, people's homes, contracts, and all of that. Treat it as if you would treat a job. If you're someone who has worked W-2 for a long time, I've been doing this series with my students on every Tuesday for their mindset of building it into how it would feel corporate for those of you who are used to it, but without being the corporate feeling. Meaning like we're having them recreate their time schedules. You have to show up at the time. You wouldn't call your boss every single day and say, you know what? I don't feel like it. I'm really busy today. I can't work. You want to do that. So real estate needs to be the same way. You need to show up. You need to keep the commitment to yourself. Your first challenge this week, I gave you this challenge on the pre-masterclass live, is show up every day. Because if you can do this for 5 days, you can keep the habit coming to show up for at least an hour or two every single day. So it's really important for you. I see people that are like, I'm at work, but you're on. And I commend that. Why? This has to be your priority. Yes, I understand right now in present time you have to work to pay your bills, but you have to think long term here. You have to think if I can commit and show up even while I'm at work to my real estate business, somehow making this work or on my lunches or on my way to and from, that eventually I will be out of this W-2 and I will be working for myself. Okay. So remind yourself that yes, Stephanie, you're one of the ones that I was saying. You remind yourself that this is temporary, right? But if you can commit You can have the life that you see everyone else living. I live in Florida. I live in one of the richest neighborhoods in Florida. And you know what I see every day? My freaking neighbor has a cold plunge bath and a sauna in his garage. He has a McLaren. He has a Range Rover, Tesla. They have the G-Wagon. There's only two parents and they each have two cars. But anyway, what I see here is wealth. I see people living life. They had a freaking petting zoo in my front yard because we like share a yard kind of, a petting zoo on a random Tuesday for a birthday party in our front yards. What I'm saying here is that you can live that life. This isn't something that is so far-fetched. We are just putting in our heads that this is far-fetched. So you have to get really good at time management. And that's going to take time, ladies. It's going to take time. So don't expect that you're going to wake up tomorrow and have the perfect schedule. I still tweak my schedule every single week. I still have to figure out what's going to work with what I have currently going on. But I think long term, too, if I can do this now, what's going to happen 6 months from now? What's going to happen a year from now? Here in today's age, we're used to that instant gratification. It needs to happen right now without a lot of work. It should be really, really easy. 12-year-olds are making millions on YouTube, reviewing toys and all of that and stuff like that. It should be that easy for us. It is once your mindset's there. Real estate is great for me and Laura. We love real estate. This is something we enjoy. Me teaching you this, because someone asked at a retreat, she came up and she said, does it ever get tiring having to answer the same questions or retreat? I said, no. I said, because that's helping them. My purpose is bigger to do it. So does it ever get tiring talking to sellers? No. Right? Now, sometimes does it get annoying? Yes, I deal with high maintenance sellers. I deal with high maintenance buyers. But I go into it where I get to do this. It's not an I have to do this. I get to do this. And when I do this, it provides a life for me. It provides a life for my son who's 12, who gets to live like the best life ever. It provides a life to the people I get to impact because of the money. I get to hire team members. I get to take care of their families. I get to make sure they're taken care of. So it's something that I wanted to state because I feel like we forget the impact we make when we make money and why real estate is so important. Everyone needs a home. So anyone that's telling you there's not enough to do out there, there's not enough there's not enough resources or it's too saturated of a market. Um, I wish we could close Florida. I really do because there's people coming in waves. You can't stop it. They need a home. They need a home. It doesn't matter that we're full. It doesn't matter that we have insane traffic. They need a home. Or maybe you're living in the middle of nowhere and you're going to invest, but there are people there that still need a home. So I think people forget that, they feed into what everyone says. That's why I mentioned the media earlier, because the media, they'll feed in and say, oh, you're doing this and this is going wrong and the real estate's going to crash and yada, yada, yada. You're going to make the most money when crashes happen. You're going to make the most money in real estate. So that's what I kind of wanted to bring. I know Laura probably has something to say. I can see it on her face. I kind of wanted to bring it in, but I wanted to remind you of something as we go into the rest of this week. Take out every negative thought that you have about real estate. Take out everything you've been told. Fully focus, be present, and be open-minded to what we're going to teach you. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you listen and you remind yourself and you stay positive and you stay open, because it might get a little woohoo at times, but you do it 1 year from now. Remember my words right now, Alex. I know she's listening. You need to like videotape this for these ladies. 1 year from now, your life will look drastically different for the better. You will be more abundant. Maybe not fully financially free, depending on your debts, but you could be fully abundant in a much better situation, doing much better, free of your freaking job that you don't love. Unless you do love it, then you can stay. But you can have the life you want 1 year from now if you just get rid of all the negative chatter that you are hearing and telling yourself throughout the process. So this week, your goal outside of watching the pre-master class live, choosing your area, I'm giving you a lot of homework on day one, and figuring out your area, it is to start replacing and becoming aware of every negative thing that you're intaking or saying And this week, I want you abundant. I want you thinking big. I don't want you to put a cap on yourself. There is no ceiling to what you can make in real estate. I said minimum 6 deals. I have done as many as 12 to 15 deals a month wholesaling. This is something that is doable. Laura, anything you want to say?
Well, I just want to give some tips because I see, and I don't think we have to do any convincing, Liz, of this crowd. Okay, they're all
No.
like, "Oh my God, yes, I want to definitely do this."
Mhm.
I just want to give you some practical tips, guys, because I know a lot of you have a job or overcommitment, and you
Yeah.
want to get real estate as part of your life. Okay, so the first thing I did, so in 95, I transitioned from corporate to real estate full time. And then I want to answer some questions too, Liz. If you guys have any question about today's topic, though, okay, we'll keep it only today. And I saw somebody from Texas. Yeah, Texas is fine. Actually, some of our most successful students, like Tiffany, Kay, and other ones are in Texas. So with that said, yes, you're fine. The thing is this, the three things that I did to transition out. Number one, I made a decision. Okay. There was no turning back. I said within 6 months, I'm going to quit my corporate job and be in real estate full time. Granted, I had been in real estate before, but I didn't go into specific. I had sold a lot of my rentals because of personal reasons. I was going to move, and Liz's dad, we were trying to fix our marriage. By 95, I came to the conclusion that I had to support myself and my children. Liz was only 6 years old at the time, and I had two small children, including a baby. So 6 months was that. That's it. I'm gonna do this full time. I'm gonna quit my corporate. So I made a decision. The second one is I took action. Okay, I did what I had to do. So meaning that there was no excuses. I took 100% personal responsibility. Number three, I time blocked. Somebody says, "Well, I'm gonna take an hour from after my workout in the morning or whatever." Time blocking is huge. Okay. I work with
Yeah.
students that have jobs, travel for work. And honestly, those are the ones that do the most, they're most successful. It's because they're so focused. I have one of the students, she sent me, some of them I work one-on-one at some point, but she sent me messages at 1, 2 a.m. The thing is, they're so focused and dedicated, and that's what I see. So time blocks. So one simple thing, sit down, figure out what you're doing from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Elizabeth did some cool exercises about this, and she video, and there is a bunch of resources on that. And then look at, carve yourself at least 2 hours. Okay. So 1 hour might be a little too little. Try to, especially in the beginning, you want to give yourself 2 to 3 hours a day because you have to learn the implementation, and then you have to do the implementation, right? And so there is it. But then focus on strategy, focus on one source of leads. We're going to talk more leads about the next couple of days. Focus on one thing. Okay. There is a book that I wrote about this. So that's the thing you have to do. And then you're going to start to see fast progress when you do that. Okay. But time blocking. So once I did those three things, and I did what I had to do, meaning on my commute to work, I was on my phone. I had one of those phones installed in my car. On my lunch hour, I did what I had to do. I put the kids to bed early, and then I was working real estate. Within about 3 months, actually, I was making enough money consistently to quit. I stayed about 5 or 6 into it just because I'm very goal oriented, but that's what I did. So the thing is this is probably it's not only about money. Obviously, you want the money, right? To say, but to me, it's also about freedom. It's about freedom of choices, freedom of time, freedom, right? Because life is what it is. It doesn't matter if you are 30-year-old, 60 or 90 years old, life keeps going. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you want to have a life well lived. How many of you, live to work? Literally, you get up, you go to work, you come back, you do chores, go to bed, you get up, you go to work. You live to go to work.
Yeah.
You live for other things that are outside. How much freeing would be to have a life where work just supports your life. Real estate can do that. It give you the time, it give you the money. Okay, so I don't want to go on a rampage anymore. We're done enough. Let's answer some questions, and I know you have some
Yeah,
other
well, real
things.
quick, I want to say two more things. One, be proud of yourself for being here. A lot of people don't even make this step. They just think about it. think about it, and never do. So I want to say that I'm really proud of you there. The last thing is that you want to look for support, not permission. I saw someone say, "What if my spouse isn't on board with this?" Your spouse doesn't need to be on board with this. This is your dream. And I say that because, hear me out before you're like, "Oh, she's knocking the spouses." I say that because this is your dream. I got divorced, but one of the things that I hated when I was married was that he was building his life and I wasn't. And it created a lot of resentment, and I was there supporting his. So here's the thing. You're looking for support, not permission in this. All right. Your spouse will they will get on board when you start making money, when you start doing well, when you let your success speak for you. Let it speak for you. Okay. That's all you have to remind yourself. You have to believe in this so strong that the people around you don't even voice their negative side of this. You're going to have a boundary where you're like, I don't want to hear it. Okay. This is for me. This is something that's really, really important here. Team, go ahead and pull raffle. So they're going to pull raffle now. How this works is that you have to be live. They're going to give me the top three. I'm going to go one at a time. Remember with the delay, as soon as I say it in real time, the second name, the second person gets it if they're on. You do need to comment, okay? Our raffle today is you're going to get an upgraded VIP elite ticket, okay? And if you already bought it, we will refund it. Okay. So we're going to do that while you do that. Now what we're going to do is they're going to pull raffle. Um, we're going to go into a Q&A. The Q&A has to pertain to today's topic. So it has to pertain to choosing a strategy or choosing an area. It's not going to be on anything else. We have not gotten there yet. Therefore, we're not going to cover it yet today. Just remember, watch the pre-masterclass live. All right. And just a reminder, I know I come off really strict on this. We have done masterclasses for 5, 6, 7 years. I can't remember when the first one was. But we've done it for a while. This is after a ton of feedback. They like that we stay structured. They like that we don't take a bunch of questions that overwhelm them and stuff like that. So please understand this is off of feedback. I'm not here trying to be a bee. I'm here trying to help you. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that you don't get all this information overload that you can't even take action. So again, remind yourself or remember it's at one question per person. You can start asking questions while my team pulls that. All right. I'm just waiting for questions now. Laura, anything you want to say until the questions come in?
No, no. One thing I also recommend for this week is that don't get ahead of yourself, okay? Just follow the process. There is a reason for this process to be this way. It's like when with the students, when you come on board, I'll give you a checklist, and the training follows the checklist, 4 weeks. So boom, do this, do this, do this. And I'm very much step by step because I don't want to throw you a bunch of information and then you're going to be back at square one. I want you to do deals. I think everybody does, right? So, okay.
All right. We have one question that's come in so far. Nancy is asking, have you ever helped someone that is wanting to invest in Puerto Rico?
You can do it anywhere, even the territories. So yes, yeah, we had actually several students in Miami from Puerto Rico. So yes.
Mhm. Anyone else?
I mean, technically you can do it even in other countries. I've worked with students in Canada. You can do it there. It's just that you have to look at local laws. How is done. There might be some things transactional wise that are different, especially when it comes to wholesaling or flipping contracts. But yeah, you can do it. Definitely you can do it in Puerto Rico.
Do you have to choose an area where you live? Can I answer this?
Please do.
No. All right. So if you remember, maybe you came on later. You, I don't invest where I live. I invest in other states and I invest north of Florida, northwest Florida and St. Pete, Tampa. In fact, I prefer it because I feel like if I was local, I'd feel I'd have to go. So this had forced me to do this completely virtual. I do St. Louis now. I go to the areas often. I do. I go to St. Louis several times a year. I go to St. Pete, Tampa several times a year. I check out my location. I drive around. I do my drive for dollars, which we'll talk about another day. I do all of that. So I do go there several times a year, but I have personal connections there. I grew up in St. Louis. So I grew up there. I have friends there. So I go for multiple reasons, and it's a tax write-off because it's for business. Um, my question is my fair. Oh, we'll talk contracts. Don't worry, Deirdre. We will talk contracts here, and we will help you with that. Okay? So just hang in until we talk contracts. I just want to cover questions about today. What is PropStream? We'll talk about that tomorrow, I promise. We'll talk about PropStream tomorrow. Remind me, okay? Remind me. I'll make sure we talk about it. Have you found the Miami area difficult? Laura, I'm going to let you answer this one.
Mm. Um, it is a matter of perception. What do I mean by that? If you expect it to be difficult, it would be difficult. And it's all a matter of perception. I'll tell you why. So a couple of years ago, this is when, Miami was really crazy. Now it's easier. We had a retreat, and there was one of our past students came to the retreat. Her name is Miriam. Remember that, Hannah? I mean, Liz.
Yeah.
And Hannah's another one of my daughters, by the way. And and so Miriam said, I just flipped the wholesale a pre-foreclosure downtown Miami and made $85,000. And so everybody in the room looked at her and it was like, oh, Miami is harder than this and that. She says, no, it's not. I said, I do deals in Miami all the time. So their expectation and conviction was it was easier to do deals in Miami. I've had students in the past, William. William does deals in
Well, you
Miami.
have a student
Yeah.
now, Donna.
What?
Donna, our student now is
Donna.
doing
Yeah,
deals in
well,
South
she's more
Florida.
Broward County, but yeah. So the thing is this, is a matter of how you perceive that. If for you it's hard, it's going to be hard. If for you say, I go out there and can do deal, that's my expectation. And I want to go back to that for 1 second. When I started in real estate back in really investing in 91, I started before as an agent, but as an investor, I started full-fledged in 91. I was like of the expectation that I could do it and it was going to be easy. That's it. And I went out there and I bought one rental property a month. That's it. And my expectation was I'm going to buy at least one a month. Some months I will buy two. But that's the thing. So yeah, Miami's fine with, the expectation. Now, I still will research the area. I will still do a little bit of work because, Miami is a big metropolitan area, right? So you have to find different spots, but it's totally fine. And by the way, if you find anything in Miami, bring it to us. We buy in
Um,
Miami. Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is there are a lot of questions about what we're covering later this week. Again, please remember we're getting to it. Don't overload. You need to go choose your area. You don't need to be focusing yet on how to find leads. Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Focus on choosing your area right now. And if you're already like, I'm already doing that, then good. Rerun your numbers. Make sure you're good to go. Make sure you're ready to go for when we cover wholesaling, when we cover rentals, flips, creative financing, contracts, virtual systems, all of that this week. You need to be ready for that. So again, I'm going to skip over a lot of stuff here, a lot of questions to move forward, and we're taking one question per person. How easily is it to do it virtually? That's a mindset shift. I went in person to look at rentals once, um, and I looked at 15 homes in one day. And I was like, what the hell am I doing? I said, why are people so hell-bent on doing this in person? I can call 50 sellers and virtually look at 50 homes in one day from the comfort of my couch or my desk or wherever I am in the world, than have to go physically through all these properties. It's a mindset shift. Um, I'm going to skip over to where do I find title companies? We didn't really cover that, but we're not covering it this week. I call them. You don't have to be face to face. I mean, I haven't closed a deal in person in forever. Like, you don't have to be face to face. Get on the phone, have conversations with them. We have some students that's in your training if you're curious about it, on what to say, how to talk to them. What's your favorite strategy? Well, I'll answer mine. I'll let Laura answer hers. My favorite strategy is wholesaling, clearly. But why? Why have I stuck to it? Because I'm an anomaly. Most people evolve into rentals or flips. And my CPA has been yelling at me for years to start owning rentals. Why have I not done that? Because I like wholesaling. Right now, I'm younger. I'm not in the need for passive income. Yes, it's in the future. Yes, I'm thinking about it. But my thing is here is I like the low risk, low liability, and the big checks. I'm going to show you a check here near the end of this week. I made $122,000 on one deal at the end of 2024. I like those checks. Okay. I like those rentals and flips. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes risk, much higher risk. It takes, rentals is a very slow ascent to having cash flow, and flips, it's 3, 6 months out with a lot of headaches in between. So for me, I like the low liability. Laura, what about you?
It depends at what point I am in my life. I've done all three strategies together, but right now I am mainly wholesaling and doing fix and flip on high-end homes because of where I live and the demand. But yeah, but at any point in my life, it's been different things depending on where I was.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a couple more questions here. Do you stick to a price range to buy? We do. We stick under the FHA limit in the NAR Realtor report. So if you go back and rewatch, I know that you want to rewatch the replay. We stick to that under that FHA limit in the report. We
Yeah, it
stay under
depends
that.
on
So once
the
it's fully fixed up.
Yeah, if it's like Miami, for example, I can go conventional. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do
Yeah.
that because beyond conventional, you're going to jumbo loans, and that's different set of buyers.
Yeah. So if I choose Dallas, Fort Worth, and Texas, is that too broad, or should I narrow down to just the major cities like Dallas or Fort Worth and not focus on smaller cities in the Metroplex?
I would actually that you have to break it down more than that. Yeah, Dallas and Fort Worth are still big. You need to follow, if you do certain now, is this for wholesaling or
She doesn't say and
okay?
doesn't
Like
delay.
for example, I have a student, she does Phoenix, Arizona, right? And Phoenix is really broad. So I made her focus on about, I think, 5 or 6 zip codes. So there is like this diagonal through downtown Phoenix going up north, west to southeast. So that's what she's focusing. So yeah, you have to research zip codes within those areas.
Definitely. All right, so we're going to pull raffles. In order to claim this raffle, you have to be on. You have to comment right away who's excited. What's going to happen is you're going to get our upgrade to the elite. I don't know what all this includes anymore. I don't remember. I asked my team to send me a note, but I don't see it. So what it basically includes though is you're going to get the recordings for free. If you already bought and you win, you will also get the a refund for that package. It's $97. You'll get a refund for it. But it includes the recordings, it includes some scripts, it includes all of that. So you will get all of that at no extra cost as a winner. What will happen is I will call the winner. You will comment that you're here and you see it. Then my team will have you email them. You need to email them at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com, and you will have 1 week to email them. So you have until Monday of next week to email and claim it. You have to email in. I have to make this clear because people always come back saying I didn't know. And you have to email in. Next week, my team will be releasing all of the raffles throughout the week, meaning that they're not happening this week. I'd rather them focus here and give you your full attention. So they will catalog that you had emailed in and that you claimed your raffle, but they will not give them out till next week. Sound good? Okay. All right, let's get going. I'm pretty sure she's on. I saw her commenting. I just need to make sure she's still on. If not, we'll move to the second. Our winner for today is who's excited? We're commenting quietly. Come on, be excited. Who's excited for a raffle? Remember, more comments, you get the top interaction raffle at the end. Let's see. Email at questions@realestateinvestingwomen.com. Basically, we're getting all our reminder emails. You can just reply to one of those. That's fine. There we go. Okay. Our winner is, let's see if she's here. Her name is VG Moore on Facebook. VG Moore, are you still on? This is when I need that Jeopardy music.
You
See if
only
she's
say
on.
it, but you still don't play it.
I know, because I don't think about it. There she's on. Congratulations, VG Moore. You are the winner. So you get to win. Now, let's see if we can stick to it because I think it was the last masterclass and the one before, so third time's a charm. The winner was on every time. I never had to call a second winner. So that's exciting. Now here's the thing. If you win, you have a chance to win again. Okay, we do that. The other thing is that if you didn't win, you have a chance to win. So we are going to be doing this every day for people who are on live while we call the raffle. The more you comment, the more information you're going to get, the more chances you have to win. And the other thing is we're doing a grand prize on Friday. We don't announce it till Friday. Well, my team might have announced it. I can't remember. But it's a big prize. You get a lot of stuff with it as well. And it doesn't matter if you've won before, you have an option to win again. Now, tomorrow, keep in mind before we jump off here, we have a hard stop at 11. Well, it's like 10:55 a.m. Eastern time because you're going to go to my guest pass to the REIW mindset call. This call, my students, I saw a student message, Donna, weirdly enough, said Laura was trying to reschedule a time with her, and Julie, which is your client success manager, is a student, said, "Can you do 11:30?" And Donna said, "I don't miss the mindset calls. Please reschedule me for another time. I will not be there." So she was willing to ditch her one-on-one with Laura to be on these mindset calls. So this is really, really important. It's never too late to join a class, Monica. Yes, you could have someone join the class. You can come onto the mindset. Now, here's the thing. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., I'm starting right on time, and it's an exercise that you have to have your eyes closed. I can't repeat myself, things like that. So you're going to want to be on time. You're going to want to be somewhere very quiet, somewhere that you can be at peace and things like that. I have done this exercise. It came back highly requested for this year by my students. This is a powerful exercise that will compound you reaching your future goals much quicker with your present self. I know it sounds weird, but you'll know once you're in it. Laura, anything else you want to say before we hop off besides they got to go do their homework?
No, I saw some question coming through, like how do you find buyers and so forth. Don't worry, guys. We are gonna cover everything you need this week. Okay,
Yep.
just you don't get ahead of yourself. That's all I'm asking. Just follow the process, trust the process. There is a way to it, and before you know, things are gonna start unfolding. So yeah, so don't worry. We're gonna cover
Okay.
everything. And like I said, right now, honestly, today and tomorrow with Liz, your mindset, is more than half the battle here.
It's
We're
like
going to give you the
90%.
skills, we're going to give you the tools, we are here, but your mindset has to be the right place. Otherwise, there is no use. We're building something with no foundations.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is we get ahead of ourselves and our success gets pushed back the more you do. So it's really, really important that you try not to get, and I'm not calling anyone specific out. Don't feel like I'm speaking to you, okay? I'm saying this to everyone who's listening this week. It's really important that you just focus on what we're focusing on because it will come all together and before you know it. But I want you to see success today. I want you to say, I chose an area today. I picked my strategy today. That is a win because then tomorrow you can be like, I understand the process to wholesaling today. I understand how to find sellers and buyers today, right? So do that. The link is not working, team. So just so
Working
you
for
know.
me, I just tested it.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll have a text going out with the link. We will also put it in the Facebook group the morning of. But team, if you can try and help them, that would be fantastic. They'll help you, don't worry. But I'm really excited. It's going to be a really, really good week. Believe it or not, this is light. We kept it light today. We didn't want to overwhelm you on day one. So if you thought this was good, just stay tuned because every day gets better and better and better and better.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of an agenda, tomorrow we're going to go into wholesaling. We're going to go into the whole mechanics of wholesaling. We're going to talk, I think, about leads as well. So that's tomorrow. On Wednesday, we're going to get into buy and hold rentals. So I'm actually going to share my story, exactly how I did it and how I got into rentals without using any of my money, where I found the leads and all of that. And also, we're going to have a special guest, Maria, who is also our coach in the community. Like I shared with you, I met her. Actually, she was negotiating my short sales about over 15 years ago. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about fix and flip. So anybody that wants to learn about fix and flips, we have it, all kinds of information. Actually, for buy and hold, wholesale buy and hold, fix and flip, all of that. But buy and hold, I'm actually redoing all the training right now. Every week, I meet with the students and we're redoing all the training. I just finished up fix and flip and I did wholesale a couple months ago. So every once in a while, I redo the training when I feel the market has changed so much to make it relevant and contemporary. And then we're also going to talk about private money. So if I know a lot of you are interested where to find the money, I will share with you how I got into millions of dollars overnight by doing syndication in 2001. So I tell you how I did it personally. It's kind of a funny story, by the way. So, but I will share with you that. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about systems. So how to put everything together to really run like a good, well-oiled machine. Now, I want to say something. Don't feel like you have to have a huge business. I know some of you are, you know what, I want to make money, but I'm not that hardcore about it. I like my job, or, I don't want to really get into that. That's fine too. We're not the type of, I want to build a business around how you want to live your life. Let's put it that way. And all of you are at different phases of your life, different stages, different priorities. So that's fine. So we have anything for everybody.
All right. I think today went long enough. I think they thoroughly have homework and overwhelmed
Yes,
here.
yes, I'll let you guys
Um,
go.
But I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Come back tomorrow, 10 a.m., right here in the group. If you're not seeing us, keep refreshing. My team will pin this to the top of the group under the featured item so that you can find all the access. Make sure you watch the pre-masterclass live if you haven't already. I'm really excited. I would love for you to comment right now, for those of you who are still on, 3 takeaways you got from today. So I want to know 3 things you learned today or you're walking away with. It could be anything. It could be from mindset, it could be anything, but 3 takeaways, because throughout the week, you're going to see that your takeaways are getting bigger, maybe longer. I had one lady once put 10 takeaways. She's like, I couldn't choose 3. So these are the 10 that I did, that I chose, but I would like for you to start with 3. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yes, take care, have fun with it. Don't take it too serious. Take it as a fun, okay? Serious to the point that you're gonna do the work and do the steps, but be excited because it's going to change your life.